This place used to be bare soil and now it's slowly becoming a garden. And there's something really special about creating a space that didn't exist before. A space that invites birds, bees and butterflies and just feels like a little bit of magic. If you told me a year ago that I'd be out here, completely absorbed in soil textures and flower colours, I wouldn't have believed you. What's funny is that this whole obsession started out of boredom. I quit social media and all of a sudden I had all this free time in my hands. From there I went to handpicking some weeds that I saw in what I thought was a lawn. I pulled one weed, then another, and then I realized the whole lawn was just weeds. The soil was badly compacted, sticky clay with almost no life. And I realized I just needed to start over. So I got the good old Azito tiller out and tilled the whole backyard. Underneath everything I found construction debris, broken concrete, old tools, even lighters. I tried to start the lawn from seed in November, but the weather was too warm and the grass didn't get strong enough before the hot weather kicked in, and unfortunately it got completely overtaken by summer weeds. I started again in April when the weather had cooled down a little bit, and this time it was a success. I almost killed it when I scalped it a little too low at one stage, but now I have learnt the hard lesson of not taking more than a third off the blade each time that you mow, and I'm making sure that I'm mowing it about once a week. Once the lawn was underway, I wanted proper garden beds, but not straight lines or symmetry. I looked at so many options but kept coming back to natural, curved, live edges. They make the space feel softer and more organic. I did some AI renders and scrolled so much on Pinterest. I went from wanting a succulent garden at first to a Mediterranean garden to a cottage garden, and I ended up mixing all of them into my own style. So it's a bit of a mixture of cottage with a Mediterranean garden. And also similar to the garden seen here in Game of Thrones. This is the look that I wanted to go for. I wanted cool toned flowers, so pinks and purples and blues, and I wanted to stay away from warmer colours like oranges and yellows and reds. I also preferred the look of curvy edges more than straight edges because I didn't want to go for that symmetrical, formal look. I was gravitating more towards the informal, relaxed gardens that really have that organic feel to them. So I'm trying to avoid having any sort of straight lines as much as I can and keep the curves and the natural shape everywhere. I looked at a lot of edging options, but the one that really stuck out to me the best was the live edge, the natural edge. I just think it looks really organic, representing sort of what I'd see in nature, rather than having like a metal sheet or even have a wooden edge. It is a little bit extra work. It just means that every time I mow, I also need to make sure I properly clean up the edges so that the grass isn't growing into the flower bed. I'm happy to do it. I love being out in the garden. It's honestly my favorite place to be, and I find it really rewarding once I work on a project and then get to see the final look. I'm sticking to liquid fertilizers because Biggie here likes to eat the granular fertilizer that I put down. So I'm using a combination of both synthetic and organic fertilizers, whilst I'm still trying to focus more on organic fertilizers, just so I can build some more soil microbiology, because the soil is extremely compacted clay soil, which is standard to Melbourne. It holds onto its nutrients great, but it just doesn't drain the water very well. In the Christmas holidays, I'm finally going to be getting rid of the dreaded yuccas. I really regret not getting rid of them the first time when we moved in. Yuccas are such a nightmare of a plant. They're a desert plant, so they are extremely hardy and tolerant. Their roots are so invasive and they can basically grow underneath the foundation of the house. They have literally ruined the fence. Now's the time to get rid of them, and in their place I'm going to have a whole bunch of fruit trees, which I'm absolutely so excited for, especially because the position that the yuccas have at the moment is prime real estate. They get the north-facing sun, so they get so many hours of sunlight. I think the fruit trees will absolutely thrive. So if you're new here, welcome to my Aussie garden. There's so much more to grow, so much more to learn, and honestly, this is just the beginning.